Lines on the road mean that a great god has passed and graced our streets. So I was thinking to myself, gee, that video I filmed a few days ago was terrible, I hated it, so why not go outside and do something that you've already done, film yourself talking while you're walking. It means you don't even have to write a script. But there is a plot twist for this walk. We are going on a different route. A route to a forgotten land, a very forgotten land, a land that I have not shown you before. A land of great wonder and intrigue. A land that cannot be beaten by any other land. One might say that the place that we are going is a barren field in which nothing happens. Though I do think some people were industrializing it a while ago, which is sad. By a while, I mean about a year or two. It's been a while since I've been up there. Look at that car as it drives past right about now. You can tell I've grown because normally I'd just put the camera in my pocket and run far away. I didn't do this today because I've grown as a person. I'm a better person and I don't have as big pockets as I did before, so I can't put the camera in them. We call this the Great Gate of Gate-likeness, which leads to the hill of holy land. This land is only reachable if you do one thing, use one trick to get through. Walk through the broken part of the fence. The walk up the hill is tiring, daunting, and it might seem impossible. But you will get up there if you have faith in your greater superior beings, such as Buddha and otherwise known as ETC. We have reached the top of the hill. The first trial is over. Now we face the second trial. How do we approach this task? How do we get through? We go this way. Kent is not very good at protecting this property. Is there lots of bees here? I think there's lots of bees here. Surely they wouldn't attack a snazzy fellow like me. This is the third trial, an actual trial. Probably lots of buggy things in there. Good luck. I'll go first. Follow behind me. I think you blacked out, but it's okay now. We made it. We're free. We are now in the beautiful land of barren field land, as it's now called. One might compare this land to the harmony of the world. Above all pessimism and destructive forces, there is always optimism, one might say, but I won't because I'm not very poetic. The sound of creaks and animals and insects is unnerving me greatly. I assume they're all out to kill me, like all bugs and animals. My cat once pushed a box on my head. The box was full of dinosaurs. You can understand that kind of turmoil, surely. Here we have the mountain of Tacubacaba. It's a grand mountain. A mountain that cannot be described with words, so let's not describe it. Here is the fork in the road, a broken fork. As you can see, we only have two pathways. Which one do we take? The one that could lead to anything, or the one we can see a bit more of? And because I'm unoriginal, let's go this way. The open land, filled with bees probably, so it's more dangerous. They even built a fence because it's so dangerous. An orange fence. A path that may lead to nowhere, or perhaps everywhere. At the same time, here are the words of those lost in the forest, leaving their final message for us to find. They probably fell down this hill, perishing to skeletons. The skeletons that live down the hill, turning them into skeletons themselves, probably. Maybe they were kidnapped by the demons in those houses. We will never know. Because we're going back because this place is boring. Back to the undescribable hills of an undescribable name, or an unsayable name, to the skies of Earth. Of the world which we should be cautiously optimistic about. What the hell is that? A secret military organization has taken over this land, fighting against the gods that made it so glorious. Where there was once huge piles of grass and dirt and rocks and otherwise, there is now this building in which Poseidon himself resides in. He's a big fan of industrialization, Poseidon. My bow tie's crooked. That's better. No, it isn't. Here's where the land becomes unfoldable. In the rocks of crushed souls. I'm very daring, I must say. You can hear them screaming out in pain as I step on them, creaking with each forgotten soul, and tripping at each one. Ow! That was painful. These shoes were not made for walking. They are not as much like boots as I would hope. Final trial I'm not ready for, because it is the most dangerous. Let's turn back, because my feet hurt a lot, because these crushed soles are very painful. Ow. Here is the granny flat that Zeus resides in. As we walk back through these sullen lands, we come to the conclusion that, after all, the best thing we can do is take another course, because that's more visually interesting to you than our previous course. Actually I would, except the path up here has disintegrated to a very thin line. Well, I'm doing it anyway, because I'm a brave soul, a soul that will stand up against all the crushed souls that have been crushed here in this godlike land that is undescribable. What do you mean I'm worried? I'm not worried. This is only an unmarked path through a very barren area, and I think there's cobwebs on my hand. At least this is the time of year where the snakes aren't about. Mostly. It's very high grass. Very high grass. Run! There we are. At least I'm tired a bit after 7 minutes this time. Here is our exit, but we will not go that way. We will be daring and try this direction, because that's definitely a good idea. Here we have 2 tests of wisdom. This path, and this path. How about the path that resembles a Pathmore? Pathmore, that sounds like an amusing thing for something. Sounds like Pottermore. Pottermore was really, really disappointing. You too can go through all the Harry Potter adventures as Harry Potter, with much less detail and much more tedious loading times. We like to call this the Goblin's Cave. There is a belief that a goblin lives here. A goblin named Frank. He leaves muffins at people's houses because he's a very generous fellow, and people should respect him more and look at him complexly. And then we find our path to freedom. Right ahead. Yeah, shower before going on a walk. That's a good idea, Shane. You might be asking yourself, Shane, what did we learn from today's video? And then you'll correct yourself thinking, of course I learned lots of things. Why am I asking? It's pretty damn obvious. I hope you take the lessons you've learned today and take them into your future when treading the fields of gods. Much like this one, which I'm pretty sure is being turned into a tip soon. Good day, sir and sirettes. You can understand the turmoil. Take 2.